All right, now we're going to move to a consent agenda. The approval of minutes and payments of bills. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion?
8B1, resolved that the Board of
Yeah.
Education. Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School, District 208, Cook County, Illinois, hereby approves the board policies.
No.
Wrong one.
Everybody takes.
Resolved that the
7.
Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby takes the following action on the listed consent agenda items. Approves the minutes for the meetings held on August 8, 2011, August 9, 2011, and August 24, 2011. Approves payment of the bills as presented and listed in section Roman numeral 6, capital B.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Gary Gritchen. Any discussion?
Yes. The meeting on August 24th,
Okay.
Hold on a second. Don't you have to tell me to give comments before the meeting? You always say that to me.
say it to me, go ahead.
Go on.
Say it to me.
Not wrong, buddy.
I should have made comments before, but this committee, this says it was a committee of the whole of the Board of Education.
You should say special meeting.
And when you actually look, we took action, and if you actually go to the agenda on the website, it was not a committee of the whole Board of Education meeting. So the title should read, its appropriate title to be a special meeting for both the open and closed meeting minutes. So I would amend my motion to have those special proper headings done for the 24th.
Does the second have no problem with it? Okay. All right, those changes, anything else?
Marianne, I had given you a couple minor changes. Were you able to circulate them? So people know what they're in there already? Oh, okay. I didn't reread them.
Anything else? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
I have one question, because we
Yeah.
did, we had the retreat. Are we going to approve those minutes next time?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question on B though, because the last time I dropped the ball on that. If we have comments on the bills, you have to do it now too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And the only comment was, and I
Page?
think
Give it a page. or-
it's not a page
Okay.
comment.
All right.
So, there was a couple items, I sent you an email where they were for sporting things like a T-shirt for a soccer team and sweatshirts for a football team, where we've been told that those are they're reimbursed by these, participants, but there's no offsetting revenue item for that line in the to date or last year's. So again, I suggest that we don't have to answer the question right now, but you're going to have to explain to us how people can tell us that if it's this and this, we have a budget, we know what it is, and we collect it, but if I look at the numbers, I see the cost and I see no offsetting revenue.
The football was bought out of their supply budget, which they do get almost, it was reduced by 30%, but it was a supply budget purchase. So that would be a district account, so there wouldn't be any offset revenue.
We bought sweatshirts for the football players?
That's out of their supply budget.
It's out of their supply budget. The football has spent 68% of their budget for 2012. I don't know if they're almost done with their season, but that would be something we'd watch, because the control should be you can't go over that.
Right, from his questions, I checked with the bills department today. The 387 was, if I'm not mistaken, Tim, I thought that one we thought was from a summer camp.
Right.
So you wouldn't see the revenue because it just, as it go in and goes right out. It's taken from the activity account, put into account to cover the PO, and it goes right back out.
Well, I'd make two comments. One is, again, if you have a control and you're able to tell this, that's great. It doesn't seem very intuitive from what the reports you're giving to us. And the second thing is, we discussed when Art was here about how we did fundraising, and the fundraising was for the kids, and they bought T-shirts and stuff. My recollection, and somebody's free to correct me if I'm wrong, was he specifically said we don't have the school buy sweatshirts and T-shirts, et cetera, for the sports teams.
I would have, Pam can talk with Art,
Okay.
and maybe at the committee of the whole, update you on how that process has worked, because I checked on your question today, and I was told it was a district account out of
You
their
might not have
supply.
been there when that conversation took place.
A lot of the aquatic activities are participant funded,
Right.
you know, for sweatshirts and such.
Okay,
Tim, I think
There's certain ambiguity.
some of the sweatshirts are like a one-year purchase, and some of them I think actually are.
For the team.
Are for the team.
Well,
Maybe
that,
that's
yeah,
the
I
difference.
understand that
Yeah.
part. I didn't know we gave sweatshirts to football players, but maybe we do. But just,
I'll find
so we're
out.
sure about that.
I'll find out.
anything else?
Yeah, I have a question. I noticed on the bills that you have POs for some things and not others. Is there a rule on the POs? Like anything over a certain amount, you have to have a PO before you get it?
There should be POs for virtually everything.
There's an invoice, but
Oh,
very few
Yeah, I know,
POs.
there are, and that's something we're gonna work on, getting people to understand that you can't order things without a purchase order, so that we're just getting an invoice. But
Or petty
it's not
cash.
been the.
These are some of those controls we've talked about. Same thing with the textbook ordering. Why don't you touch on that? I think that was a board question.
Right.
Right, the line items that are in there for purchasing of textbooks are not a textbook adoption. They're purchases of, they're replacements of textbooks that are damaged. They're new textbooks that are needed. Textbook adoption would come before the board for approval, but that would be done by a committee, and they would bring, 2 or 3 different companies, that type of. So
Thanks.
these purchases are not an adoption.
The issue with that going over was, we told the department chair, departments, they had $10,000
Yeah.
to order for new books, they spent $10,000 exactly. No one remembered that it cost $250 to
Transportation.
ship the books back here. So we're trying to put some controls in so that we leave shipping and handling included in the purchase order, which has not been a practice in the past.
I did have one, your account's 20 and your repairs. We put no money in that account and we spent $450.
1,000. Oh, 450.
So it was like 20, like 245, it was like the third section was a curb repair or something. It's on page 58 of the billables. But if you look in the budget, we budgeted no money for that. But we charged against the account.
Yeah, it may be that some of those are being charged to the wrong account. I'll be looking at those and making sure if it needs to be transferred to a different account, we move it to a different account.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question on this, page 13th, under checklisting, ambulance for the football game.
Yep.
Do we have an ambulance on site here every game? Is that it?
There are some requirements from the conference and IHSA, and this started to change back when I was a high school principal a few years ago. A lot of the village departments, due to cost and coverage of it, started billing for that.
Yeah, Brookfield would not do it anymore.
They wouldn't do it.
They used to have it just based out here as a Saturday, so we had to get our own private service.
Is there
They
a
also-
reason they wouldn't do it?
What?
Is there a reason?
It's called budget cuts.
Well, I mean, I'm a taxpayer in Brookfield, I wanna know why. That's my point, why?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something, Kevin, you can discuss.
The other thing is they charge us for the police too.
Yes. Which is not uncommon. That's not uncommon. Now, rate is somewhat negotiable, but you're kind of at the mercy of, our stadium sits in one town, school sits in another town, so when you have an event going on at the stadium, you need coverage by someone that's in jurisdiction to make an arrest.
Right.
So we're liable to whatever rate they want to charge us. Now, to help offset some of those costs, if I'm not mistaken, Pam, you can help me with this. We're going 1 full-time regular officer and 2 auxiliary officers, so that will hopefully be a reduction of what we normally would have paid. Pretty much similar to the amusement tax we've now have to pay to Brookfield. So, I mean, every governing body's hurting economically.
Any other questions? Okay, Mary Ann?
Mr. Rowe?
Aye.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Goodchild?
Yes.
Mr. Upstott?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Cindy?
Yes.